Hello.
Hello everyone, welcome along to the stream. A bit of an early stream today, so we'll see who's around. We may have a quieter stream than usual, but that is quite alright. Bugger off Facebook. Facebook's so pointless. Anyway, as you can see from the stream title, we are... Oh, hello, boy. We are following a real-world Flybe -8 q400. In the sim. We're doing, I can see on Flight Radar 24 what routes the flight shut up, what it's done today, the routes it's done, and that's what we're going to be following. So we're going from Birmingham initially to Amsterdam and back, and then we may do another route depending on the time, but we are actually using FSX Pilot today because Tramp is very good with jets. But when it comes to this aircraft, I haven't had much luck with it. It definitely struggles on landing. I think I've streamed it before and we've had issues. So we're going to be using FSX Pilot, and we will see how we go. But hopefully it all works out. So we are in the sim, as you can hear with the avionics. We're using the TSS sound pack. Let me just check mic levels as well, because, you know... Yeah, I was working just fine. But we actually need to do the flight planning, and of course I need to figure out how to use FSX Pilot again. So let's boot up Project Fly. Still on V3, hurry up with V4, please. Right, so we're going EGBB to Amsterdam. Now we want the Embraers. No, we're not doing that. We're not in an Embraer. No. These are all KLMs. There's a Dash 8. Now I'm looking for the reg that did it today. I wonder if they have it. These are all Embraers. Why are there so many Embraers? So many flights to do this. I reckon they've... I tell you what then, I say what we're going to do. We're just going to manually enter the booking because it's being... Flight Radar has it as a Dash 8, but Project Fly's showing it as an Embraer. Maybe they sometimes do it as an Embraer, but we're not doing it as an Embraer today. Right, let's pull it up. Right, so flight number was BE, which is Flybe 101, and what was the call sign? Because that's probably different. It was BE 8 Alpha Lima. 8 Alpha Lima. Right, looking good there. Don't need those. Select aircraft. Right, let's deal with this. Yeah, we want to add one. Hello? Can we add an aircraft, please? Oh, here we go. Right. Right, aircraft is q400. Oh god, I don't know what the... I hate this when Project Flight needs the exact model ID. Model ID. Is it DH8D? No, that's the C. Oh, that's the one, yeah. Right, that's the one, and our airline code is BEE for Flybe. Our reg is G-ECOD. Let me just check that. Hello? Yeah, G Echo, Golf Echo Charlie Oscar Delta. Home base, we're going to go for Birmingham. And we'll add that aircraft. And then dispatch. I would like to dispatch to Simbrief. Thank you. Right, now let's go. Yeah. Right, that is dealt with. So, let's export the plan. Export. Now, we'll click fly now on there, for now. As you can see, we have 238 nautical miles. Now, good old FSX pilot, we haven't done this in a while. See how bad it is. Alright. Right. Well, there that goes. AP can go on.
Autopilot on.
Let's just check what we've got for our aircraft options. Yeah, so it's picked that up. Approach is 150. Apparently that's a little bit much. Right, that should all be good. Speed zero, height is at 18. That's interesting. I think we can bring that back just a little bit. I don't think we quite need it that much. Now, there is a landing knots thing now, and I'm going to say, I don't know the exact speed, let's say, let's go for about 125. Let's give that a go. Let's type that in right. Yeah. Right, so we'll deal with that. I'm kind of remembering how to do this. Oh, what do we do now? Flight plan. Import FSX P3D flight plan. And that's the one we want. No. No. Save as FSP flight plan. So we'll save you. Looking good. Now. Sorry, let's get rid of you. Right. And now I need to go and just edit the flight plan because it's probably not correct. Flight plans. Well, these are all the rubbish. No, don't need you. That's the one. Right, now because FSX pilot structuring is a bit weird, I'm just going to have to copy it to documents. Something to do with administration rights. Where is it? I need to find...
Example flight plan with FP. Euro flight weather RPT. Euro flyer protect. EDDM 7070.
That's the one.
Untitled book text. // add your comment here. // here. // Set origin EDDB. Set destination. Set speed and spots. Set status files. Set user input on. Waypoint 0.02. Set user input on.
So after we've run our takeoff, I'll tell you what, I can type in the cruise altitude, it's not a problem. Right, but let's actually just go and have a look at our flight briefing.
Right. PDF 1 billion, click 1, click tape, alt, FTR, mail/CDL items, click BHCA 400, CD, AV, max, AV, fuel, AL, FL/TDB/0210/.
Right, so we're going up to flight level 210, that's fine, I can do that. So, we're going off 33. Now, we should just, it's given us a departure, but I don't think I'm going to get FSX pilot to fly that, because it can't fly them properly. Where the hell is that going? Oh no, okay, it is actually... Okay, it's going to try, by the looks of it, to fly a departure. So I'm going to let it do that, and if it doesn't work, then it's not a problem. I can just express us through that. Now we're jumping on an airway to Sivda, but I can't be bothered to mess about with this, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Then we're going direct to Redford. Then it's going to mess about taking us there, so I'm just going to take those 2 waypoints out. We don't need you. I can go to that, and then we'll get rid of you. Right. That's our flight plan with FSX pilot sorted. I think we don't need to mess about too much. So let's grab you, flight plan, and dump you back in flight plans. Yeah, I know it's denied. And right, thank you. So you can bubble off, you can bubble off, you can go. Right. So then we can go back to flight plan and load in the revised plan, and then we're about ready to get started up. That's the one. Right. Nice. So let's turn this music off. There's our aircraft, and we will get engines starting up. Then we'll get out of here.
Hello. What's our route?
We are doing Birmingham to Amsterdam in a -8 q400. As you can probably hear by the props. If I open the doors, I bet we can hear them even more. Oh yeah. You can. Oh, does that mean the doors are closed now? I'll take it they are. Interesting. Anyway, our props are all started up. FSX pilot is ready to go. We'll make sure that's checked again. Right. What we're actually going to have to do is just spawn over. Go to airport.
Good luck. Have safe flight.
We will need it today, I think, because we're using FSX pilot. So hopefully it all goes well.
Simulation unpaused. Time acceleration is 1.
Now, I'm going to set us some flaps. Although FSX pilot likes to change flaps, so it may decide we're not doing that. Right. Our flight plan is loaded in, but we don't actually need it now. What we are going to do is hit one takeoff.
Switching to true heading display for departure. Sir.
Off we go.
V1. Rotate. NAV on.
And up we go.
Gear up.
There goes our gear coming up.
Heading set to a true heading of 326 degrees. Flaps up.
Flaps up as well.
Landing
apparently.
lights off. Please resume on navigation, sir.
Right. For some reason we don't have any Aku feel. Which is interesting. Anyway, but what we are going to do is go run flight plan.
Next waypoint BBN31 selected.
Which has now done that.
Next waypoint BBE21 selected.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's just going through the departure. We're going to set that to 250 knots.
Speed set to 250 knots.
But we'll do that. And set altitude. I can't even type. This is going very well, people. Altitude 21,000.
Altitude set to 21,000 feet.
And that's going to take us.
I do not
up
understand
to
what do you use last times, FSX or P3D.
Let me put it in that view so it's a bit quieter. So basically what we did last time, there's two, I'm still using FSX, which is the same simulator, but there's two softwares that you can use to actually fly the aircraft. One of them is called FS Tramp, and one of them is called FSX Pilot. They're two different applications that can fly aircraft. And FS Tramp is good at flying jets, but FSX Pilot is better at flying prop aircraft. And so because we're in a prop aircraft, we're using that. Right, so we're off. Now we should be able to bring the props back. So
next waypoint BBE20 selected.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay, I just brought up Firefox. That wasn't supposed to happen. There we go. I was trying to bring back the, what the hell? Oh, go away, Firefox. I need to look up the command. There we go. What I was trying to do was bring back the props, but I need to check the command to do that before I do it wrong. Anyway, we're flying, we're looking good as we can see. Looking good. If we go to project fly, we're looking good, climbing through there. One thing I do notice with FSX Pilot is that it really takes up a lot more system resources, because if we look at what we're using, I mean, it's not too bad, but I do notice a bit of a performance decrease when using FSX Pilot, which is very interesting. Let's have a flyby. Oh. Right, let me go and look up how I bring the props back.
Next waypoint Ebito selected.
Right, okay, I think I know how to bring the props back, so... There we go. That's where the props should be. Maybe a little bit up. It's looking good. Because on this aircraft they don't keep the props at full, obviously, so that you don't end up damaging the engines. Now, is FSX Pilot doing okay with that setting? Yeah, fine.
FS Trump? Can you tell us about this software? I hear first time about FS Trump.
FS Tramp, not Trump. Not like this. Not like the president of the USA. It's Tramp. But it's an autopilot which you have to purchase a license for, and basically the reason it's so good is that it allows us primarily to access the built-in autopilot that comes with a lot of the aircraft. The way FSX Pilot flies is completely manual. It controls the throttles itself. It's a very manual thing. It's all, you know, coded separately. But with FS Tramp, it allows us to access the built-in autopilot of the simulator. So it flies jet aircraft a lot better, and it does a lot of procedures better. A little bit more difficult to access, but it's a lot better than FSX Pilot in many respects. Right, looking good. Let's go and see. There we go, we've got a
speed set to 345 knots.
Much increased speed safe. So we'll increase to that, because we can. Yeah, it's doing a good job at increasing our speed. It goes a lot quieter when you increase the speed. You don't seem to hear the props nearly as much, which is interesting. Let's go and have a look how our altitude is doing. So we have 422 knots of ground speed apparently, and we're coming through 13,000 feet.
Next waypoint Banto selected.
So you heard it say there, next waypoint Banto selected, so it's gone to our next waypoint in the flight plan.
Can you spell a name of FS Trump? Which software do you use with FSX?
So the name is FS, obviously, FS space TRAMP. I'll type it in chat. And what software do I use? Well, if I'm flying props like this, so this is a prop aircraft, obviously, it's not a jet, it's just props. So I will use FSX Pilot. But if I'm flying a jet, normally I will use FS Tramp. I'll type that into the chat.
FS Tramp.
There you go, I'll put the name in the chat.
S. S.
Next waypoint Civda selected. Thank you.
You're welcome. And as you can see, we've just gone on to our next waypoint. Let's have a look. So we're 187 miles away now. Just coming through 17,000 feet.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Next waypoint Redfa selected. Which simulator is better for you? FSX or P3D?
Well, there's a lot of things to take into account when you look at that. So FSX, if you look at it, what does it have going for it? Well, FSX is lighter on system resources, so if you have a slower system with lower specs, then FSX is probably better for now. FSX is a little bit more accessible at some points, but the only way you can get FSX is off Steam, and Steam isn't very accessible, so you need someone sighted to get it for you. P3D, on the other hand, is more up to date, so it's much more supported with add-ons. It is a little bit less accessible in some areas, and it's a bit more system intensive. It takes more out of the computer, but it does have some benefits because it's more up to date. So it's quite difficult for me to choose one over the other. Going forward into the future, probably P3D, because FSX is quite an old simulator now, so it's not as much supported. So going forward, P3D.
Track flight project. Ground 445 kts.
So we've got a really good ground speed actually, pretty much at cruise, and we got 158 nautical miles
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. S.
till we are at Amsterdam. Of course, there's a new simulator coming next year with the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 that's being released, but you know, that's something new brought to the table, although we're not you know, we really don't know a lot about that and what add-ons will be supported. I'm not sure that a lot of them are going to be supported, but we will have to wait and see on that one. Well, I'll tell you what I should put on. Flight following, so we can see where we are.
Well, you can to show us first steps from FSX installation to last configuration or first flight.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Closest city,
Bury St. England.
There we go.
9.4 kilometers.
It's going to let us know where we are.
246. United Kingdom time.
Let me just read that message again. Right, so I mean, you see
Hey Declan, great flying.
Oh hi Robin, welcome along to the stream. Glad you are enjoying the flying.
Sadly I'm still struggling with FS Tramp. When I try clicking on any of the controls in screen review mode with NVDA I always get kicked back to the desktop. I managed to get it to work once with OCR.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. So you're doing the screen review, and then when you get to the button NVDA Shift M on it, and when you do that, it should read the button again to let you know it's moved to it, and then you're left clicking. I mean, I'm trying to think what would be different from my setup to yours, because you see the way I have it, I have a wireless keyboard and that's got a physical left and right click on it that I'm using. I use the physical left click, not the NVDA command, but it shouldn't really make a difference. So Alexandros, can I do a like a full configuration video? Actually getting FSX installed, I can't because it's from Steam. And in that regard it's not as easy, and I find it easier just to get someone sighted to install FSX. P3D has an accessible installer, which makes it easier to install onto the system. Actually, once the sims are installed, I can do stuff on that, yeah. I mean, it's really up to you what you use after you install the sim. I would advise using FS Tramp, and then getting add-ons from there. But really, once the simulator's installed, you've got the very basics. If you download something like FS Tramp or FSX Pilot, you can then learn how to use one of those and fly. Very quiet, this aircraft once you're in cruise. I'm saying it's a prop. Right, let's see how we're doing on Project Fly. 123.
446 kps.
And
Microsoft Flight Simulator
446.
X.
Now this, because it's on FSX Pilot, won't descend itself, so I'm going to have to just have a go at descending whenever I think we need to, and we'll just
Closest city,
hope it works
Ipswich,
out.
England.
Oh, we're
28.3
going over
kilometers.
Ipswich.
Bearing 231.
I know where most of these places are, obviously, because I'm in the UK.
The NVDA and Shift plus M part is where I get moved to the desktop whenever I try. I'll try doing a left click using my mouse instead of the NVDA simulated click and see if that helps. Thanks.
Ah, so when you do an NVDA Shift M, it moves you to the desktop. Because that usually means that there's something in the way of the NVDA can't move the mouse to it because there's something in the way. I assume you're using P3D. What do you have it in full screen mode? Maybe try Alt Enter, which should take it out of, or should change the screen view, and see if that helps.
S. S.
Oh wow, I didn't know about the Alt-Enter shortcut. I will most definitely try that, because yes, I am using P3D.
Yeah, it sounds like something's getting in the way, because I used to have that issue, and the only time I used to have it was when I was using VATSIM, and that was because the VATSIM client, vPilot, that I would use to connect, was overlapping with the P3D window, and so whenever I tried to move the mouse to a button, NVDA would suddenly chuck the mouse over to some completely random point, because this VATSIM client was overlapping the top of the window. So yeah, sounds like something's going on with that.
Closest city, Lowestoft, England. 42.5 kilometers. Bearing 326. Currently over North Sea.
Right, there we go, over the North Sea, which is the divide between England and going across to somewhere like Holland.
S. S.
I think these sounds are kind of bugged from TSS because they, like there in tower view, you get the avionics.
S. 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 S.
Which is kind of weird. Anyway, not really a problem, but.
Next waypoint EHAM selected.
Right, so that's just gone direct to Amsterdam,
Track flight project fly over.
which
Track flight
is
project flight. Ground speed.
fine.
21,007 feet. Altitude 21,007 feet. 446 kps.
Now we're still at 89 nautical miles, so I'm not going to actually start an approach yet, because I don't really think we need to start descending. I'll leave it a bit longer and then we'll start an approach.
Closest city, Lowestoft, England. 76.1 kilometers. Bearing, 299. Currently over North Sea.
List. Track flight project. Round 446. 20,900. 73 m. Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Right, in a minute I'm going to set it to do an approach so we can start descending down. Right, so if we go in here,
Fly altitude sub airport submenu. Airport submenu.
where is it? I haven't used this for so long. So let's go for a GPS auto land, and let's go for, well, I mean short.
Runways.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
EHAM 04 selected.
Right, okay, we're
Sir.
going in for 04, that's fine.
Switching to true heading display for the approach. Sir.
Let's just see what it's aiming for. So that's our initial altitude. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, we are going down pretty fast.
Also, when I did that one flight, I noticed it would climb to the service ceiling altitude, not the cruising altitude in the flight plan. This was with an A320.
Yes, it may do that. I assume that was Robin. It may do that. If it, what I would, as a backup, if it does that,
the flight plan was exported from SimBrief using Project Fly.
Right, I got you. Yeah, that's exactly the same way I do it. Sometimes it doesn't pick up the altitude when you import it into Tramp. So if you go into the plan menu and go into the aircraft settings dialog, and I usually do this anyway before I depart, there's a cruising section, and in there you can set what altitude you want it to cruise at and the Mach speed you want it to be at. So I always go in there and just make sure that's correct, and it usually isn't. It could be, because there's a preset in there already, like you say, whatever the service ceiling or whatever, it's already got in the aircraft profile. So if you go into there, it's in the plan menu, and then go and select change the cruising altitude to whatever you should be at, and check that your max speed is correct for that specific aircraft and it's not going to go too fast or something, and then just click OK.
Closest city,
it should do it.
Gravenzande, South Holland. 57.8 kilometers.
Oh, well, there's Holland.
Bearing, 111.
Right, let's have a look.
Currently over North Sea.
Yeah, we're still going down pretty fast.
Oh
well, it is what it is. What would you expect with FSX pilot flying?
S.
Oh wow, thank you so much. Really do appreciate the advice.
No, that's alright. Tramp is a funny bit of software sometimes. I can't work out whether it's genuinely bugs or whether it's just because Tramp is a bit awkward for us to use with accessibility, and sometimes we miss a stage or something that we should have done. But there are some strange things that it does that it is possible to sort out, but you just have to know how to do it. And yeah, going into the aircraft dialog and doing that is one way. And the Tramp developer is an absolute idiot. Like, you try and email him, nah, he's not having it, he hates it. He is such an arsehole, he's an idiot. Like, if I didn't need Tramp, I would literally ask him for a refund and never use it again, because he's so rude. But there we go.
Autopilot mate. FS channel 01. Track flight project fly. Track flight distance 37 nm.
Right, so we're not far out.
12,365 feet.
I'm just coming through 12,000. So that's, yeah, I guess we may do a bit of circling around the airport to get us down because we're a little bit high. But FSXP should be able to sort it out. Right, because we're coming up to approach, I'm going to stick our
Well, he's German. So am I.
full.
Maybe I should reach out to him one day? LOL.
There we go, props are on full. Yeah, you should, I think he's German. I mean, you could try. He's just been really unaccommodating, really unhelpful with everything that I and a lot of people have asked him. It almost seems like he was really annoyed that a bunch of blind people took up his software. Like, oh, great. What are these blind people doing? They shouldn't be flying planes? How can they fly planes? Why are they using my software? But, yeah.
Closest city, Scheveningen, South Holland. 21.7 kilometers. Bearing, 119.
But yeah, maybe
Currently
if
over
you
North Sea.
reach out to him, he'll be
Central European Time.
more understanding, but who knows? Anyway, we're on Central European Time now, so we're an hour ahead, which means it's probably, well, about 2:30 in the sim currently. Right, how is it doing at bringing our speed back? Well, let's at least bring it
Speed
back
set
to
to 250 knots.
250.
Closest city, East South Holland. 2.7 kilometers. Bearing, 169. Flaps 2.
Alright, there it goes, setting flaps. And I assume it's going to bring our speed back as well. Yeah, it is. Good. Well done, FSX pilot. You haven't killed us yet. Still time though. I do not miss flying with this.
Gear down. Landing lights on.
Right, there it goes with gear down and landing lights on. Okay, speed's coming back nicely. Don't stall us. How much are you bringing it back? Okay, seems to be okay. Right, I reckon we're in good shape to be landing now. So we should be alright. Looks like we're coming in pretty much on final.
Closest city, Aalsmeer, North Holland. 4.6 kilometers. Bearing, 65.
S
1,000 feet, sir.
Alright, here we go then.
$500. $100. $50. Brakes and reverse thrust, sir.
Well, and there we go, ladies and
Heading
gentlemen.
set to a true heading of 41 degrees.
We are down.
Nice landing.
Flaps up.
Shall I order a cup of coffee? sir.
Sounded pretty good. It's always weird with this aircraft because when you touch down, because it's got props, it sounds like you're still at full power, which you are, and then the props are brought back once you've touched down, so it sounds very weird, but that is normal. Anyway, get these things off, because we will just stop here. I'm not bothered about, well, I mean, we can't taxi to a gate, so we'll just
Closest city, Amstelveen, North Holland. 5.2 kilometers.
forget about that.
Bearing, 94.
Right, let's see how bad it was on Project Flight. It's not going to be a great landing rate because it's old FSXP, but you know, we'll see how we go. Distance is that. Obviously, we're at the airport. Oh yeah, -605, bit bumpy. Oh well, we'll take it. That's all right. We didn't bounce, I don't think. So no, I want you to complete the flight. Thank you very much, Project Flight. Block time was 0:51. Let's have a look. The fuel, 239 nautical miles. We only burnt 769 kilograms. That's the landing rate again. Passengers, we had 74. Parted at 11:53. Zulu arrived at 12:36. Yeah, we didn't bounce, but let's have a look at our landing. -605. 3 on the G-force. 5 degrees pitch, so it definitely did pitch up, but interesting. 0 degrees roll on 123 knots, which is correct on the speed. That is what I set it to. But there we go. You know, what can you do? Now, I am going to go and eat, so I am probably going to end the stream here, just with the one flight. Now, I may do the flight back, but I'll probably record that and upload it as a full flight video, because if I leave, well, I could just leave the stream on, but I'm going to go and eat, and it's, you know, everyone's going to leave because there's nothing to do and whatever, so I'm going to end the stream here. We've done a nice flight in the q400, and I will do the second one and schedule it as an upload for the for a full flight video, maybe for later on in the week, so that we've got something there as well. I may be back later today to do another stream with a different aircraft if I get a chance, but we will have to see. But anyway, safely down on the ground in Amsterdam. FSX pilot didn't kill us. It did cause a bit of a heavy landing, but that's the usual. Right, come here, OBS Studio, where are you? OBS Studio. Oh, come on. Controls, that's what we want. Right, see you in the next stream or video. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
It's not going to. Is it going to work? Let's see. Oh no, the AP's in the way. Get rid of you. Now is it going to work? Yes, it is. See you in the next video.